We had very good energy today, good competition. They just, even from the flex, they just seemed like they were excited about being out there. Actually, they kind of helped me. I was running kind of slow, but one of the things I talked about that we struggled in the scrimmage was some protection issues, the punt and extra point field goal, and we worked hard on that today and got a lot better today. Matter of fact, we talked about protection all the way around, understanding what a pocket is, understanding how important it is for a quarterback to be in the right spot in that pocket, but it's also important for the punter to be in the right spot. It's also important for the holder to be putting the ball in the right spot, because all those things really, all those three aspects of a game, an extra point field goal, a punt, a drop back pass, it all has to do with the pocket protecting a certain spot. And part of our issues was just people not being exactly where they should be. And then there was a few holes too, but we got a lot better today. I mean, I got a lot more peace about it right now. We just got to keep working, keep getting better. I've seen some, one guy I'd like to point out a little bit is Logan Gray, and Logan is starting to really get more comfortable, standing in there and making some nice throws and in that pocket. And that's tough sometimes for a young guy to get to the point where he's real comfortable. And I'm not saying he's 100% comfortable, but he's making himself do it. And he had some great success today. And even, it's been coming on about a week. But sometimes the first day it happens, you don't want to say much about it. But after about a week or so, you feel like the guy's getting it. And I'm pleased with how he's progressing as a drop back passer. I think if there's anybody else out there off the bat I could think of to praise. I could say, Asher continues to just be a guy that every day competes at a very high level, makes everybody better. I'm really getting excited about Danell Ellerby and how he's taken on a leadership role for us. And he's really turning it around. I'm ready to say publicly I'm excited about what he's doing. But those are just some guys in particular that lately have done well. And I'll mention another kid. Ben Jones is a kid, a true freshman, but and he's got an ankle that I know is killing him. He didn't tell anybody, but I know it's killing him, and he keeps practicing. And he keeps trying to get better, and he's just a tough kid. He's a competitor, and he's caught my eye for sure. So with that, you guys can kind of ask anything you want, and we'll go from there.
Does Ben have a chance to press Chris or allow you to move Chris somewhere else if need be?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's definitely going to be in the competition. I mean, I think it's going to be a very good competition in the fall. And like you say, if Chris and Ben are both in the top 5, they'll both play. But he's coming along. He is not surpassed Chris, but you see the elements of toughness, of learning what to do, of competing every play. Just concentration level. You can tell he's trying like mad to do it just the way Coach says. I mean, you can see he's coming, and I'm not sure he's coming fast enough to ready to start in the fall. But I wouldn't put it past him either.
Is there some hesitation about potentially a true freshman at center, even if he did have a spring under his belt?
Well, again, if he's the best, we'll just start. I mean, right now he's number 2 center. So,
It's interesting that you mentioned, you said you had some concerns on the exchanges, extra points and field goals, or
Protection.
protection. Because I was going to ask you that one of the more interesting things heading into G-Day is your kicking situation is so,
Right.
on
Up in
the
the
side,
air.
up in the
It
area
is,
and everything.
it is.
Can you talk about how maybe, who's going to be handling extra points? Does Drew Butler fit in, or these walk-on guys going to handle kicking
I don't
duties?
think we're even. I think by the end of this spring, we'll know of the kickers we have. Right now, Jensen's in the lead. Okay, now, when the fall rolls around, we'll have a lot better idea because we've got at least 3 guys coming in that are going to compete. With Jensen and Bear and whoever's. I don't know who's going to. We got to make decisions on who's going to actually be in camp. We're only allowed 105. So we got to make some decisions there. But we'll probably bring more kickers into the 105 than we have in the past because we just don't know. And we better be perfect at the protection and perfect at the snaps and perfect at the hold. To make sure these other guys that are inexperienced can do their job. And, the rest of our special teams need to be special in that, our guys that are, again, protecting, covering kicks, tackling, or blocking for kickoff, return, and things of that nature. We just got to be, besides our kickers, punter, kicker, extra point, we got to be good. At the other 10 got to be outstanding, and I think we have a very good chance of being outstanding outside of that position. Not that we won't eventually be outstanding at the kicking position, but we have more bodies, more depth, more experience, and they ought to be pretty good.